Hiya crafters, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I'm going to do a quick batch of Christmas cards featuring this new Forest of Trees stencil from A Colorful Life Designs. Now this is part of the November release, and I'm going to pair it with this new to me Let's Get Merry die from Photoplay. You can see there's a shadow layer and a word layer, and I'm going to cut it out of this really pretty inexpensive metallic cardstock that I recently got from Michael's. So you can see I cut it down into strips so I could get 2 of these die cuts out of each of these strips to batch a bunch of cards. Now I actually in pretty quick succession was able to make 6 of these to add to my stash for Christmas cards this year. So I'm going to show you how I did it, but it was very simple. First of all, I die cut a bunch of these out so they're ready to go. I love that there's no little fiddly bits or anything, it just cuts out one solid piece. And then I'm also going to find a color match here, or not a color match, but one rather that's kind of fitting the theme that I'm going for. I'm kind of feeling a bit of a like lime or a retro sort of green. So I'm picking that because I feel like it'll be a nice complement to the green on this metallic cardstock. So here I'm just setting up this stencil right on top of a card base, and that is A2 size, US A2 rather, so 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2, and I'm working directly on the card base. So not only is this going to keep it nice and flat and lightweight, easy to ship, but I'm not having to use more paper than I need to because I'm working directly on this card base. So I am pressing heavier in spots, lighter handed in others, just so I'll get some variation in color here, but I am just using this one single ink pad. So this is kind of a simple design if you don't maybe have a lot of ink colors or just need to do something kind of quickly and batch a bunch of cards. So I get a nice variation in color here. I'm just going to close this up, remove the stencil, and you can see the very simple ink blending on the front of the card. Now I'm just putting this on just to see how it'll look, and I do want to add a little something else to it. So I get this green fine liner pen. It's kind of a similar color to the green of the die cut, and I decided to just kind of do little extra design elements all over this. So I did actually do them a little bit different on every one. Some I kind of did little squiggle marks on the trees. Other ones I kind of made it look like a garland, kind of filled in some of the dots, just to kind of tie in that darker green color and add something a little extra to it because it was such a simple design. So with the ink blending, you can see I have several of them off to the side. I was able to do it in just minutes. It's really easy, just kind of put a new card base down and do the ink blending, and then you have the die cutting ready to go. So it's just a matter of kind of zhuzhing them up a little bit and attaching the die cuts to the front of the card. So here you can see I'm just kind of doing polka dots, filling it in. You could also do white splatter if you want it to look like snow. That's an option. Or you could maybe round a corner or something just to give it a little something else. And you absolutely can, make it fancier if you want to do it on its own layer of cardstock with a pretty die cut edge or something like that. So I'm just trying to keep it simple and quick so I can get a bunch of these made. And here I'm using some liquid glue. I know, gasp, shocker, but these letters were kind of fat enough that I wasn't worried too much about the oozage. So I just kind of quickly put some glue on the back. I couldn't even find my tweezers to help me hold it. I was a bit of a mess at this moment, but basically I'm just going to put it down in the center of the card, and then I have a really big acrylic block that I'm just going to slap down on top of it and give it a second to kind of let the glue adhere to the card base. So here I have this perfect color of blingage. It's these random sequins. There's a light green and a dark green, and they were a perfect match. So I'm glad I remembered I had these in my stash, and I'm just going to put a smattering of these in an odd number. You can see 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and again use my jewel picker tool and some liquid glue just to kind of put this down. But that's basically it for the design. So like I said, you can absolutely make it fancier, take other steps, or you can keep it nice and simple like this, and I think this turned out really well. So that's 6 cards done for the, I don't know, probably about 130 that I need usually for Christmas time. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. I will link everything in the video description box below. If you do shop some of these amazing stencils, be sure to use my coupon AmyFan10 and you'll save 10% on your complete order. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.